Iron Man 2008. In November 2008, Marvel Studio worked to start development and announced Iron Man as their first independent feature because the character was their own major one, not already depicted in live action. Director Jon Favreau wanted Robert Downey Jr. because he felt the actor's past was right for the part. He said that Robert himself has been through ups and downs and many obstacles, and that is Tony Stark for you. You guys will be surprised to know that the movie just had an outline. When they started filming it, there was no script. The movie was released on May 2nd, 2008, and that was the bloody day. Iron Man 2, released in 2010, shows how the world begins to react to Iron Man after his identity becomes public, turning Tony Stark from a private genius into a global target under pressure from governments and enemies. At the same time, his technology starts evolving again, as the Mark IV suit becomes more advanced, faster, and more integrated with new systems, showing clear improvement from the original 2008 design. But a major shift happens when Stark introduces the Mark VI prototype, featuring a new power source and upgraded combat capability, pushing the suit closer to full battlefield dominance. However, this evolution isn't just about power anymore. It's about survival under increasing threats from both inside and outside his own world.
Get down!
Iron Man 2012 marks a major turning point in the evolution of Iron Man, as Tony Stark is no longer operating alone, but is now part of a larger global team, facing threats far beyond anything he dealt with in 2008 or 2010. By this stage, his technology has already advanced significantly, and the suit systems are becoming more integrated, faster, and more responsive, pushing Stark's armor closer to full autonomous combat performance rather than manual control. In the Avengers, Iron Man's role shifts completely, as the Mark VII suit is introduced with rapid deployment capability, meaning it can assemble in seconds during high-pressure combat situations, showing one of the biggest upgrades in adaptability so far. This evolution also highlights something deeper. Stark is no longer just improving armor. He is building systems designed for large-scale war scenarios, where speed, coordination, and survival all happen at once. During the New York battle, the suit is pushed to its limits, operating in extreme conditions, sustaining heavy damage, and still maintaining performance, proving how far the technology has come since the first Mark I built in a cave. From a single escape suit in 2008 to a rapid response combat system in 2012, Iron Man is no longer just evolving his armor. He is evolving into a key weapon in global defense.
Time I was in New York, I kind of broke Harlem. It's all right. I wouldn't have come aboard if I couldn't handle it.
Iron Man 3, 2013, the evolution of Iron Man takes a very different direction, as Iron Man 3 focuses less on pure upgrades and more on what happens when technology begins to fail under pressure. At this stage, Tony Stark's suits have already reached advanced levels, but instead of constant improvement, the system begins to show instability, forcing him to rely less on armor and more on adaptability and intelligence in combat situations. This is where the Mark 42 suit is introduced, a major shift in design, capable of remote activation and modular assembly, allowing different parts of the armor to fly independently to the user, showing a new concept of flexibility in Iron Man's evolution. However, the real turning point is not just technical, it's psychological, as Stark begins experiencing stress and uncertainty, showing that even the most advanced technology has limits when the human controlling it is under pressure. Throughout the events of Iron Man 3, the suits are damaged, rebuilt, and replaced multiple times, proving that the evolution is no longer about building one perfect armor, but about creating multiple systems that can adapt to unpredictable situations. By the end, Stark even removes dependence on the suit as a constant need, shifting toward the idea that Iron Man is no longer just the armor, but the person inside it. And this marks a key evolution in the journey of Iron Man, where technology is no longer the only answer.
I'm a piping hot mess.
Avengers: Age of Ultron, 2015, marks a major shift in the evolution of Iron Man, as Tony Stark begins moving beyond individual suits and starts building systems designed to protect the entire world. At this stage, his technology becomes more advanced and automated, with artificial intelligence playing a central role, showing that Iron Man is no longer just about armor, but about control and global defense. This is also where the Hulkbuster armor is introduced, a massive upgrade built for extreme power, proving how specialized and situation-based his suits have become. But this evolution comes with serious consequences, as Stark's attempt to create a perfect defense system leads to unexpected chaos, showing that as his power increases, so does the risk behind it. Captain America: Civil War 2016 shows a different stage in the evolution of Iron Man, where Tony Stark's technology becomes more precise, controlled, and tactical rather than just powerful. At this point, the suits are faster, more durable, and fully optimized for combat, with improved targeting systems and real-time analysis that allow Stark to adapt instantly during fights. This is also where we see one of the smartest upgrades, as the armor can analyze opponents mid-battle and adjust its fighting style, turning every fight into a calculated strategy instead of brute force. But the biggest shift isn't just in the suit, it's in decision-making, as Stark begins relying more on logic, control, and accountability, showing that the evolution is no longer just physical. It's strategic. Spider-Man: Homecoming 2017 continues the evolution of Iron Man by showing Tony Stark move beyond upgrading himself and begin shaping the next generation of heroes. At this stage, Stark's technology is more advanced than ever, as he creates highly intelligent suits, remote support systems, and training protocols designed for younger heroes entering a dangerous world. This is where Iron Man becomes more than a fighter, as he takes on the role of mentor, using experience and technology to guide others instead of always standing on the front line himself. His own armor also appears more refined, faster, and seamlessly integrated into daily life, proving how effortless the technology has become. And this marks a new evolution of Iron Man. Avengers: Infinity War 2018 marks the peak technological evolution of Iron Man, as Tony Stark unveils his most advanced armor yet with the Mark 50 suit. Built with nanotechnology, the suit can form instantly, reshape during combat, and create weapons or shields in real time, removing many of the limits seen in earlier versions. This gives Stark unmatched speed, adaptability, and continuous battle performance, allowing him to respond to threats faster than ever before. Unlike older suits that relied on fixed parts, this armor evolves during the fight itself, making every second more efficient and dangerous. At this stage, Iron Man is no longer just wearing technology. He is controlling a living system built for war, and this becomes the highest point of Iron Man's combat evolution before the final chapter. Avengers: Endgame 2019 marks the final evolution of Iron Man, as Tony Stark returns with the Mark 85 suit, a perfected nanotech armor built with stronger defense, faster response, and greater combat efficiency than ever before. Years of battles have now turned his technology into its most refined form, designed for the greatest threat imaginable. But the biggest evolution is no longer the suit. It is Tony Stark himself, now fighting for others instead of himself. And in the final battle, Iron Man proves that true power comes from sacrifice. That was the evolution of Iron Man. Subscribe for the next superhero evolution. Which Iron Man suit was the best? Mark 3, Mark 50, or Mark 85?